welcome. An hour later, but still on time. You see, daylight saving time came and impacted the Europe before we did. Therefore, we're on an hour later, but it's all good. Draped in gold. Your one-stop shop for action across the ring and across the pond. NXT, NXT UK content. Your boy Flo Pizza, Flobo Boyce. Thank you so much for joining us live on that YouTube, on that Twitch, and that Twitter. And if you're on the chat on either one of those platforms, make sure you drop some questions. But as always, I am not alone. I'm being joined with the man you can see at Wrestling Inc.'s Raw Aftershow, Anytime Radio, the co-producer of the independent feature Dead Body, not to mention his contributions to Champion Wrestling from Hollywood. Please give it up for the Jack Farmer. What's up,
I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time, Flobo.
Oh, holla. Murder. What up, man?
If we're going to use phrases like bout it, we got to cycle back to all the early 2000s hits.
Oh, man. Lean back. All right. So.
It's, busy week for me today. Yeah, we just, the Dead Body, the show that I helped produce and had a small acting part in, is now debuting at the Soho International Film Festival. So you can check that out now. It's live. You can buy a virtual ticket, as they say. Also just did a Q&A for the LA International Film Festible. So
LA too. Sweet.
Yeah. Cool.
Wow, so that producer life, man, I'm kind of jealous.
You know, it's a tough life, but
got diversified that portfolio. I respect it. You're like Shaquille O'Neal.
Because I sell out for everything. Pretty
much. Epson Printing, General Car Insurance, IC High, Papa John's. Whatever you need, man. He could do it. He could totally do it. But I respect him now. I really do. Let's get right into it, man. NXT UK, just another takeover prelude worthy show here. Start with the main event here. The final boss, Meiko Satomura, taking on Jinny. And even though Meiko Satomura won this one, no one took her quite to the limit like the fashionista Jack Farmer. Besides Joseph Connor's questionable fashion choices, what's one thing you noticed about this match that stuck out to you?
The fact that Mackenzie cost Jenny the match, getting involved on the ring apron there at the end, I think cost someone who was really pushing Meiko farther than anyone had ever pushed her before. And the fact that she was about to get the win. A lot of people here thought that this was going to be an easy match for Meiko, but Jinny, as I always predicted, really a step ahead throughout the entire thing until Mackenzie got involved on the outside.
Okay, I know you can put the blame on Mackenzie, but she was just defending the honor because your boy Joseph Connors was trying to distract the referee. But we won't get into that quite yet, Jack, with your biased commentary. Let's talk about the final boss, though. I mean, like they said, I just said on commentary, she put down Amel. She made quick work of Stevie Turner. I mean, Jinny did push her to the limit. Are the days for the final boss numbered?
I think that this showed that maybe the final boss is final for a reason. I think that someone is going to be the one that puts her away. A lot of different contenders could be there. Jinny, I think, was robbed, and I would love to see her get another shot, but that's just not the way NXT UK works. They always have a new challenger approaching, so I think that Meiko is going to have to get ready for whoever that next person is. Maybe Mackenzie, since she can't keep her nose out of Meiko's matches, should finally step in the ring with her.
And once again, Lamb agrees with you. Up late. Appreciate you, bro. Million Jack Joseph for no reason. Rude. Whatever. Oh, look, Joseph was going to do something. He was distracting the referee. She just made quick work of that. It didn't happen in the ring. It was outside the ring. It shouldn't count. It shouldn't matter.
No, Joseph Connors was trying to say, look, referee, pay attention to what's going on, because he saw some poor officiating earlier on in the show, which I'm sure we'll get to. But he's like, hey, pay attention to this. Don't mess this up. Don't miss this count. And then Mackenzie out of nowhere decides she's going to hit a stunner on the outside. Does she even have the copyright clearance to use a stunner?
Yes, Kevin Owens was great. What do you mean, Joseph Connor? Hey, excuse me, ref. I have a complaint right now in the middle of a match. Is that the way you do it? You feel a complaint. You complain next week in the ring in a promo. You don't stop the match and say anything.
If you wait till next week, it's too late. That's why he was doing. He had a sense of urgency, Flobo. Something that more people in wrestling need is that sense of urgency.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. How long have you been wrestling, Jack?
Very long time.
35 years of counting. So now we have ourselves Jinny, right? Frustration, right? It wasn't our night. What happens for the fashionista? Does she go back down? Is it back to the end of the line? Does she try to cut off Blair Davenport? Because she's waiting in the wings. She's always like, hey man, you are noticed. And I'm Blair Davenport. Pew pew.
I think she gets revenge against Mackenzie for getting involved. I think she goes out there and messes her up a little bit and shows her that you don't get into fashionistas' business.
Whatever. I don't think you. I think it's a much to do about nothing. I think Miko came out there and let the whole world know she took down the fashionista clean as a whistle in the middle of that ring. 1, 2, 3. I'm just putting it out there just to let you guys know. I'm just saying.
I even Mako's going back to her locker room today, shaking her head, saying, "Man, I got lucky here. I'm glad that I've trained someone to get involved. I'm glad that I trained this person to interfere in my matches when I can't get the job done." I think that's
what kind of trade would that be? Okay, now you interfere. Okay, anyway, moving on. Because we're talking about officiating today. This one was another one that was kind of interesting here in the women's division. Angel Hayes makes her NXTUK debut. If you follow her on Twitter, she is just happy as a clam to be on the black and red brand, taking it on the mysterious Isla Dawn. And this one actually ended in a disqualification. I guess the second disqualification in as many weeks after about a year or 2 or 3 of not even seeing those on the brand. Jack Farmer, walk me through this. Angel Hayes against Isla Dawn.
This was the poor officiating I told you about. This is where things went wrong. This was the first bad officiating of the night. And it comes with the referee just flagrantly throwing this match out for no good reason. Isla Dawn has the count of not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, the count of 5 to pull that hair. But this referee, he waited like half a second to just throw this match out. He didn't follow the rule book, and that's what the referee is there for. Unfortunately, though, Isla Dawn doesn't have Mackenzie to run in there and hit a stunner.
Leave Mackenzie alone. Lamb says, congrats to Jack Farmer for making his CWFH commentary debut last week. You were a commentator, bro?
Yeah, commentary for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, live from the Commerce Casino. The first episode will be airing this weekend. Check it out. We have some really, really cool matchups. We got like Daniel Garcia, you may have seen on network television, showing up there. Platinum Max Caster had a match. I don't know if his is going to be, I think his will be next week. But lots of really cool matches. You're going to want to tune in and check it out.
So let me ask you this, as a wrestling professional with 45 billion years of experience in the commentary booth and in the ring, what should have happened in this match? Angel Hayes versus Isla Dawn. Should it have been a restart? Should it have been a rematch? Should it have been not even DQ in the first place? What went wrong? What broke down here today?
46 billion if we're counting. But
oh yeah, you were the Tyrannosaurus Rexes, bro.
Yeah, you just ask Kushida, he was there. So what should have happened is the referee should have said 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Isla Dawn would have let go. That's what you do. You take advantage of the 5 count. I think any strategist would tell you take advantage of the 5 count. She wasn't given the 5 count, though.
Right.
That's how it should have gone. That's why this officiating is so egregious, and that's why Joseph Connors got involved. It all goes together, Flobo.
I offer a theory. What if, just go with me here, that Isla Dawn has been, particularly peculiar over the past couple of weeks. And even though she was cleared to wrestle, that there were special instructions to make sure she didn't do things out beyond the pale. Maybe this was a precautionary measure for Isla specifically, because she's been so hanging with the occult and things like that.
Well, that's being biased right off the bat. It's a ref's job to not be biased. If you're looking at what someone's done before, what they're doing in their personal life, I mean, you can't just look at what Isla Dawn's not doing anything with the occult in the ring per se. I mean, she maybe acts weird, but she's not doing those things. But that's outside of the confines of the match itself. And if you're the referee, all that's none of your business. Otherwise, things get too sticky. You can't take in people's personal lives, Flobo.
You heard it here first. Jack says, shut up and refs. Lamb says, Cisco should have come out of his very nice office to restart the match. His office changes every week. I'm starting to get upset about this. This is crazy. Every week he's in some other wing of this building. Like the office he had 3 months ago, Nathan Frazier's watching tape in it now? Like, hello? I'm not dumb. Okay, go ahead. You were saying?
I was going to say, when you're actually a GM, you get an office.
Ooh, he's an assistant. So what happens? Is he like carrying his stuff with him every day and putting things on the wall every morning? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, he puts it all in a little box. He takes it home and then he brings it back and sets it up.
I can imagine showing up to work and someone goes, sorry, so you're on the 4th floor today. He's like, oh, not the 4th floor. It smells. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me at all. But that's besides the point.
I'm just saying there are certain GMs that don't have windows, don't have nice offices. When you do your work as a GM, you get those things.
But William Regal, hey, he's a good GM, damn it. Leave William Regal alone.
I was actually just thinking about Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. They don't have offices at all.
Oh, but they're WWE officials, which is kind of like a GM. I don't know.
That's true. That's fair.
It's a weird thing where like, we don't do GMs anymore, but you guys, officials. Remember Pat Buck? Remember him?
What a weird, like, it's funny that they think we're not supposed to notice, by the way.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, Elliot Fletcher says, at least he gets an office. We haven't seen Regal in weeks. I think he got kicked out of the bad office. Yeah, poor guy. He's probably doing it from his car.
Yeah, I mean, well, he's still getting as much work done as he did beforehand. So.
What the hate, the shade? Johan says, We Five Stud says, when do you guys think they're going to pull the trigger on another NXT UK takeover? Jack Farmer, put you on the spot.
Hopefully sooner rather than later. I want to see I want to see them do the thing. This would be, I haven't seen an NXT UK takeover since I started watching weekly. So I am really eager for them to get something on the books. They give us such good matches every week, though. I don't know what they would give us that would make it seem like a bigger show.
Oh yeah, good point. I guess it's the timing of it all. Give me 20 minutes per match. That's only you pretty much make it different. But you're right. I think NXT UK does a good job of giving us like a tight hour, which is something that's not. I know we make fun of shows like Raw because it's 3 hours long, but I think a tight hour just because of American television, the way it's set up, it's almost impossible to maintain. Picture breaks and all that. So I don't know. I have no idea what that would look like, but I too want one. I want to go and see it live. I want to high five Ashton Smith, but hey, remember me? You know what I'm saying? That's the goal. That's the dream.
Yeah, I think that would be great. They should fly us out there to do coverage. I think, much like here in the States, we're always so gracious to have our Spanish announce tables and all of our other announce tables. I think NXT UK should fly us out there for the American announce table.
I believe they speak American England too, Jack.
I don't know. Do you hear some of the things they say? I think it's a different language sometimes.
Talk on your yogurt. Good point. We want American announce table. That's our new hashtag.
We'll start with yeehaw.
Yeehaw, y'all. Let's look at one of the things that are also disturbing. I guess you called it months ago. Xia Brookside complaining to the assistant to GM, calling her pop. What is going on, Jack? And don't tell me you saw this coming because no one did. No one did.
I think that it's incredibly unfortunate that Xia Brookside has to stoop to these levels. Why isn't Sid Scala listening to her after all she's done for this brand and all the amazing things she's put forth for NXT UK and the women's division? To have to call her dad is incredibly insulting to someone as talented and as great as Xia Brookside.
Yeah, wait, what? Huh?
Yeah. Don't you agree?
I'm a bit confused, Jack. I thought you would have gloated and said, for years, Xia Brookside was a rapscallion and ne'er-do-well.
Listen, I can't believe she comes from a lineage of talent, okay? Her name is royalty in professional wrestling. And she says, even after the final boss says, hey, I want you to find me challenger. She says, hey, I want to challenge people. And Sid Scala has the nerve to say no. I can't believe this. This is ridiculous. She should be getting this match. She should get it next week. And I hope her father gets on the phone with Vince McMahon himself to make sure that this is rectified right away.
I can imagine that conversation. Robbie Brookside, this man. So you say American is not English and vice versa? Okay, listen. I don't understand this, Jack. On this show, you said she was terrible. She's an awful person, putting in samples to work, and now she is totally showing her true colors. And you're saying she's being unfair?
Listen, people can change, Flobo. People can change from where they were, and I think that she's really showing gumption right now. She's really showing that go-getter attitude. She's not worried about being someone who sucks up in the back anymore. She's looking at being someone who demands what she deserves, and I hope she gets it.
Elliot Fletcher says, I live here, so therefore he's appointing himself the Draped and Gold correspondent to do a takeover. Please, if you go there, figure out what side Xia Brookside is on, because Jack is confusing the heck out of me, because I would have bet my bottom dollar, I have very few dollars, so it's pretty much the bottom dollar, that he would have hated her.
I think they're pounds over there.
Oh yeah, probably worth like $1.2, right?
Right.
I'm still waiting for my jersey, Enfield FC. Take your time, why don't you? That's besides the point. Wow, I'm surprised. I'm just surprised, y'all.
I mean, look, anyone with eyes can see what's going on here, Flobo.
You created my notes. I have to move on. Moving on to Mustache Mountain, man. They got themselves inserted to the Fatal 4-Way tag team match player next week, but Tyler Bate doesn't seem all that happy with Trent Seven. He says he's fine. We all know when people say they're fine, they're never fine.
Trent Seven looking out for number one here. First off, it took him a week to apologize.
That's fair.
It took him a week to get out there and say something to him. I mean, you should have said it right then and there. They were in the same room. How did they walk back to the locker room together in silence? Why didn't he say I'm sorry beforehand? And now Trent Seven, he gets to Sid Scala and finally gets Sid to say, yes, I'll give you a title match. He doesn't give him a rematch. He was looking out for himself. Trent Seven says, look, instead of you pursuing that singles career that you clearly want so badly, I'm looking out for myself too. Trent Seven, I mean, look, good on you, man. Look out for number one.
And drag your friends down with you. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and actually in a lot of ways, it was a smart move. Instead of letting his friend leave him so he doesn't have a tag team partner, he cuts him off at the pass and says, nope, this is the only route you've got. It's tag team. It's Mustache Mountain. I mean, good move on Trent Seven. Unfortunately, Pretty Deadly's not losing those titles. They look too good in them, but I mean, you can't knock the hustle.
Two-part question here. So, Mustache Mountain, is it the beginning of the end? And second, to echo Lamb's sentiments, does that decrease the chances of Symbiosis getting the win?
Well, I think that anytime you add another factor, it decreases the odds all around, right?
Steiner math.
101. Or is it 101?
141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
So is this the end of Mustache Mountain? No way. The reason no way is because no matter what Tyler Bate does, Trent Seven's going to find a way to bring him back in. As soon as you think you're out, you pull me back in. I think that's what's going to happen. Trent Seven's not letting Tyler Bate leave. They're going to tag team forever.
That sounds like a crime, like a sentence. You know what I mean? That's fine. I'm in with that. Yeah. But moving on to our top of the card right here, she could have been a main event in his own right. Rampage Brown against Flash Morgan Webster, because you can't slap Rampage Brown to the very end of the match anyway. But even though Rampage Brown gets the win, Flash Morgan Webster did show up, man. He's going out there to, I guess, his campaign to be the de facto leader of subculture, because he put on a show and a clinic, but it was all for not. Jack Farmer, what is up with Flash? What is up with Rampage? And what thoughts about the match?
Yeah, it was like Rampage was trying to swat some pesky fly he just couldn't hit. But I got to give Morgan Webster the credit. Like you said, he made this pretty darn competitive at the end of the day. I don't know what Morgan Webster's plan is here, because he keeps picking these big fights. He keeps taking big L's. I don't know what the end game is in all of this. At some point, he's going to be so far down the rankings, I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe he's trying to lower himself down the rankings so he can face easier opponents. I don't really get it. He did, like I said, he put up a great fight today. I just don't really get what he's trying to accomplish.
I have an idea, and I have to agree with Lamb here for the first time ever. What a performance. Because subculture, as dope as they are, kind of seen as like, oh, those guys over there. But you have Flash slapping people, tying it up with heavyweights after heavyweights. To me, Flash looked pretty big this week. He looked like he was a guy that could be a light heavyweight, if you will. It might be a little less shocking next time he was a challenge for a title. That's what I'm saying. Get your name out there, brand recognition, subculture merch on the way. I can see it now.
And brand recognition is a guy that just keeps getting flattened by massive dudes. You still look big. You look bigger when you're standing next to smaller people, Flobo. Why is he hitting Rampage? I'm not even trying to be mean. Morgan Webster, stop. You're going to die. You're going to die if you keep hitting these people. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to save your life. I don't know what these subculture guys are telling you. I don't know what they're trying to get you into. But you're going to get beaten up if you keep doing this. If you're going to slap someone, go find someone little. Go find someone small and weak. Slap them.
That's bullying, Jack. Why would I? Someone small and we can slap them. That's a
bullying no matter who you're slapping. In fact, in general, subculture's a bunch of jerks. I don't know why everyone acts like they're so nice. They keep going and running into people backstage and picking fights with them.
You mean to tell me you never think about slapping some of your coworkers before? Ever?
Well,
I'm not a child here.
present company excluded.
Hey! You know what? You wouldn't even have our match. You'll probably slap it and then quit.
I'd pull an R-Truth that say I agreed to the match, but I didn't say it was going to be me.
Walter. Yeah.
And then Walter would come out.
Well, is it fair to say that we should motion Danny Luna to be the leader of subculture? Because you seem to be the most level-headed one.
I think that's actually a fair point.
Yeah.
It is a fair point, though it looks like maybe Stevie Turner might take that away from her as well.
Well, I mean, she's fourth-dimensional. I mean, because let's be real, you can't compete with that.
Which, by the way, not to jump to something else, Stevie Turner comes back there, tells them what's up, picks a fight, and they're like, what's up with Stevie Turner? That was weird. This is a couple guys that literally slap people in the face randomly backstage, and they're saying she's weird because she showed up and asked for a match? Who do these guys think they are?
This guy, Jack, is watching NXTUK, but like, the referees are out of control. People are asking for the wrong matches. We want new leadership.
Yeah. Sid, get control of this place.
Shout out to the American Announce Table.
Shout out to the American Announce Table.
Oh man, let's talk about Rampage though. Rampage had come out during Ilya Dragunov's promo, and he says he has unfinished business. Even after he won his match, he just put on his vest jacket and hung out. Now, Ilya Dragunov and Rampage Brown faced themselves once with that number one contenders match months ago. There is unfinished business. They're going to run it back. Does Rampage have a shot against the Czar?
Was that a three-way when they had their match, or was it one?
Yeah, with Joe Coffey. Yeah.
Oh, so good. So this is and Dragunov pinned Coffey, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so this is unfinished business. We don't know who the better of the two is. I am a huge Rampage Brown fan because he terrifies me, and I don't want him to find out I said anything otherwise. But I really love this. I love it. I said, I don't need your respect. Just leveled Dragunov. The fun times of being the champ are over, Dragunov. You always get this sort of grace period as the champion where everyone's happy for you. There's still respect in the air. Everyone's proud of you. That time is over. Now it's time to get beaten up. And if he thought fighting Walter was tough, now having all these tanks coming after you, one after the other, Dragunov's about to feel how difficult it is to stay champion.
Is it do or die time for Rampage Brown? When he was signed, a lot of fanfare, but it seemed like a perennial candidate, the bridesmaid, if you will. If he doesn't win around this time, can he still be considered a threat moving forward?
Of course he can. I think in NXT UK, that's kind of the point, right? You get beat up and you got to keep on ticking. I think taking a loss is going to be tough, but you don't get this far. You don't become Rampage Brown unless you can get up from it. Now, the question is, can Dragunov get up from the beating he already took from Rampage? And I don't know. I'm looking at Rampage, and I don't know if anyone can stop him.
Lem says, Rampage did the right thing. A-Kid Nathan Frazier shouldn't have been there weeks ago. He is there to take his chance, but brutality. Fair enough. I think he was a good-looking champion, but I don't think that's smart to go after Dragunov now. I think Dragunov has that like invincibility star from Mario in his veins. I'm almost untouchable. You have to get Dragunov later when he's weak and not distracted. I think it may be the wrong time for Rampage, but if he doesn't win this, I'll start to question his future prospects in the brand.
I think that now is the perfect time because now he's beaten up from Walter. He's beaten up from A-Kid. He's been knocked around all over the place. That starts to wear down on you a little bit. You want to take advantage when all these bruises are still healing, and that's what Rampage is doing.
Well, we got to move on to NXT Prime. But before we do that, there's a couple moments of NXT UK we didn't touch upon. Tio-Man and Raja had their promo talking about Gallus, and A-Kid's doing appearances, but Sam Gradwell does not appreciate it. But did you have any notes about those two?
Yeah, I want to talk about A-Kid and Gradwell. I'm glad that Gradwell's calling out A-Kid. All A-Kid does is talk. Finally, someone like
talk shows.
Someone like Gradwell, man, it's all action is coming out to finally say, enough of the talk, kid. Let's get in the ring.
So the man who talked about that is all action?
Well, if A-Kid was around, instead of doing all of his talk shows and probably stealing people's coffee from their dressing room,
That's
Gradwell's
fair.
never been someone to talk. He's always been a man of action.
Oh, come on. You're on NXT UK. You're the only Spanish wrestler on the brand. You're kind of a national hero. Why not have a victory lap or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5?
Well, you got to have a victory to have the victory lap. I mean, what's he doing? Telling the world about his stunning almost victory? You got to get back out there and have Gradwell beat him up a little bit to show him just what you need to do to be a real champion. Gradwell, like I said, not the kind of guy to just throw words around.
Well, you heard it here first. Everyone out there who goes to the Olympics to get a silver medal, stay home. It's not worth it. Because Jack says if you ain't winning, you're not even part of the conversation.
Exactly.
Terrible. Let's talk about the Tuesday Night Delight NXT 2.0. So we have a sister show. It's called Mac Mania, airing every Tuesday on Spotify, part of the Ringer podcast family, where Jack Farmer said on his Farmer's Market segment that Trick Williams is one to watch and is going to have his stock price rise. But our main event shows this. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes against Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis, with Mello and Williams with the win due to a shoe. Damn it, Jack, I think you're right.
I said, if you want to invest in a wrestler, Trick Williams is the one to invest in now. And a lot of people, they shook their heads and said, I don't know about this. You waited too long. A few hours later, he was getting a main event victory over a former North American champion, former tag team champion,
he didn't do anything.
A former NXT champion. He got a win over Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis because of his actions. Trick Williams is a star, baby. Now, you could still probably invest in him, but not for as much as you could have before.
Of all the foreign objects, and who throws a shoe? Honestly, like of all the things to hit someone with, a shoe? Really?
I mean, technically, you're hitting people with shoes all the time. That's what a super kick is. You're hitting them with a shoe.
I think there's something inside the shoe when you're doing a super kick, Jack. It's just no one's just tossing a shoe across the ring.
Hey, maybe that shoe was loaded. There might have been something in there too.
Dude, that would be a kind of cool signature move, like the loaded shoe of death. All right, fine. Question I have, though, even though it was a losing effort, which I can't believe I'm saying this, Dexter Lumis to put out some extra moves out the bag. Like, I really felt like he went a little bit more dynamic, powerhouse kind of thing. Am I reading too much into this, or do you think this is a new direction for the... I don't think he has a nickname for Dexter.
For Dexter. I was going to say, for the creepy one.
The creepy one, yeah.
Maybe he has. He hasn't wrestled much lately, so he's had some time to hit the gym, had some time to work on some new moves. I'm glad it's paying off. A lot of jokes to be made about him spending time on the honeymoon, but I think
a long box of condoms.
It's a long box of condoms. That's actually the name of his move.
Jeez.
Ew.
I know.
I regret
deep
that.
Cut there from Lamb. Loaded super kick. Elephant Tosma joined the chat. Deep cut, but I love it.
Yeah. So I thought he did good. Right now, I think he's got to find a way to stand out in this new NXT. They had the wedding, honeymoon period is over. Johnny Gargano eyeing that NXT title, but I think that someone like Dexter Lumis, who has all the power, can be great. This is a very loud brand now, though, and he's a very quiet man. Going to have to find a way to stand out.
Fair enough. And you did mention that stare down. I think it was kind of like a remnant nostalgia tease. Nothing's going to come from it personally. But Tommaso Ciampa had a little bit of an adventure there. Carmelo Hayes getting in the ring saying he's the A champion, though. And he got the win today, so I guess he has some kind of merit to that. But Tommaso Ciampa, Carmelo Hayes stay down. I know the fan in me wants a unification match, but I understand the commentator pundit in me wants separate divisions. I don't know what to make of this. Jack, what do you do? What do you make of this?
I like this. I like the idea of those two having a matchup. I like that Carmelo's calling himself the A champion, because if you're the champ, you should refer to yourself as the A champion. If you're a champion and you resign yourself to being the second-rate champion, then you're not a champion at all. I'm sure every champion, whether it be Nakamura, whether it be Damian Priest, and whether it be Carmelo Hayes, I think they all should say to themselves they are the A champion. Also, yeah. I think Carmelo and I think that Ciampa could have an amazing matchup if they were to go one-on-one. I'd like to see Melo as the champ. I want to see this match. I think it'd be fun. And hey, worst case, it could be a great matchup on Survivor Series when you have all the champs going against each other between Raw and SmackDown. Why not just have 2 champs from NXT have a showcase?
I'm with that, but Survivor Series hasn't made sense in like 15 years. Question for the chat. If you guys listen right now live on that YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, we have the North American champion saying he is the A champion. What do you guys feel about more geographic designated championships? Would you be happy if NXT or WWE had an Asian championship, an African championship, South American championship, or would you find something a little bit different? Like, I don't know, the TBS championship on AEW. Let us know in the chat right now, because I'm really curious what you guys think.
What do you think, Flobo?
It for me, well, one now the Pan-African world title is considered a world title is kind of weird. It's weird to me that North American Championship sounds great, even though technically the Intercontinental Championship was unification of the North and South American Championships. Wink, I'm imagineering. But I feel like if there was an Asian championship, I would like, is that okay? If there was a sub-Saharan African championship, I would say, is that okay? But a North American championship sounds cool. I don't know. Maybe just my own bias. I just want to see what people think.
I think where it gets weird is if you're not defending it in that location. So if you're having an Asian champion who only defends it in Florida, it's weird.
So the World Series is weird.
No, well, I will say it's weird that it's only played in America and they call it the world, but America's in the world. The difference is with the Asian championship, if it was in Florida, you'd say, well, why isn't it being defended in Asia?
Fair enough.
Like the UK championship, the NXT UK championship makes sense because that's where it's defended. But if it's like I said, if it's the African championship and it's defended in Florida, that's like, well, why is it the African championship?
Good point. And Lamb says no more titles. I was just thought experiment. I got a question. What's up, Jack?
I was gonna say, in general, I get it, the no more championships, but there was a time when there were a lot of championships. It was one of the best times in wrestling when there was the European champion and the hardcore champion added in. And that it was good. Things were good then too. And because they were smart about making it feel like there was divisions, but in general, I don't like a ton of championships because I feel like they become a crutch. But then I think back, like, yeah, that was kind of the coolest times when there was a ton of different titles. Or even in WCW, they had the cruiserweight and the TV title on top of it. So I don't know.
There was that period in 2021, and as an American wrestling fan, for those of us listening abroad, the British pay-per-views were like the fun super shows that we never got to see unless they got the videos at Suncoast Video or whatever. And I remember Rebellion 2001 being like, and now 8 championships are on the line. You're like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, I was all about that personally. And Lamb says, and we had how many Europeans holding the European title? Well, to be fair, both Al Snow and D'Lo Brown claimed different European cities when they were champion, but that's a very deep cut.
I was going to say, I love the European Championship, and that this could be a whole show on its own, but that did bother me that for the same reasons. Why we're just calling it the European Championship just for funsies?
I think because they ran out of continents, because the North and South Americans were combined for the Intercontinental Championship. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And they're kind of like, what's next? Europe, because they toured in Europe, right? But yeah, sorry. Before we move on this, so I just thought it was kind of cool. Elliot says, I don't think it's necessary in WWE for more titles like that. They brought back the North American title to put a new spin on an old title. Yeah, I'm with that. Speaking of things that have a bit of a twist on it, Boa had a match against Grayson Waller with LA Knight on commentary. Side note, LA Knight, Grayson Waller is fun, even though I want to see more from LA Knight. I think what they're doing right now is cool. But after Boa's match, there was no Mei Ying in that throne, and Boa has the face paint. What's next for Tian Sha?
I don't know, but I'm really glad this played out the way it did. Because at first, when Grayson Waller came out and he's facing Boa, I was thinking, oh man, pour one out for Boa. I thought this was the end of Tian Sha. I thought this was because they took a hard loss to Cora Jade earlier. I think Boa lost his last outing. And then I thought, because Grayson Waller's been on a roll, I was like, oh man, this is too bad. But the fact that he got a win was good. I don't know what's going on with them, but I'm interested again. So I don't know, but hopefully they get back rolling the way they were when they were doing all those vignettes and all that good stuff.
Do you think that I don't know how to say this, that Boa could be the new Tian Sha? The new Mei Ying?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what Mei Ying was before. That's kind of one of the bummers is I never really understood what she was before. So they never really paid that off. Maybe
what do you mean? She's
well.
living bottom of a dragon there, Jack. Dragons are real, by the way. Jack.
Yeah. Well, we've made it clear that dragons are real. That's a deep cut. But because we never really clarified what was going on with them, it makes it hard to decide if he's the next one, or what that would even mean. But I don't know. I'm in for the ride. I like Boa. I love that he's doing something, and the more video packages he's in tells me the better he's going to do.
NXT 2.0 rewards anyone who watched 205 live this week because Jeet Rama makes an appearance. I haven't seen that dude since Superstar Spectacle in a match against Solo Sikoa, or like I call my nose, Uso Joe. Look, Solo Sikoa gets the win here, but the question I have for you, Jack, is: were you that impressed, or are you holding out?
This was what I expected it to be. I wasn't like blown away, but I don't think you necessarily need to blow me away with this kind of thing. Right now, Sikoa, he gets the win. He got a dominant win. I think that's all you need at this point. Hopefully he puts a few of these together and he's able to get a run going. But was I blown away? No. Is this the match that stood out for me the most? No. Yeah. Did it do what it needed to do? Yes.
Okay. Buy, sell, hold, farmer's market on the spot.
Hold.
Ooh, holding on Solo. I mean, Street Fighting Champions Island's a very cool, I won't say character because it's not really realized, a really cool idea of a character. Hope that's kind of a cool thing they get to live up with. But I was kind of interested in seeing what happens. And shout out to Jeet Rama. Look, the last time I saw him was, well, I saw 205 live this week, but I don't watch it regularly, to be honest with you. I saw him at Superstar Spectacle. I thought he got an unfair shake this January. So it's cool to see him on NXT 2.0. But nothing much to write home there. So let's go. Having a little bit of parent there.
No, I was gonna say he has all like everything you want in a buy. Right now, though, it's always tricky with NXT 2.0 unless you show me something that makes me jump out of my seat. I don't know if it's something I should be investing in just yet.
Let's talk about finally the most anticipated segment in NXT 2.0 history, lashing out with Last Legend with Tony D'Angelo. More shenanigans, man. Poor Mark got make sure his kids are okay. What's this? Is Tony feuding with this Last Legend? What is going on with this?
I don't know, but I was watching. I think like everyone, this is stop and watch TV. You've got to see what's going to happen. And I love the tell your kids you're okay. Tell them.
Yeah. So weird, man.
This was great. It was weird. It was great. I think Last Legend needs a new studio.
Ask us Sid. So he gets studios every week. That's his
thing. Someone give Sid Scalia, send over a studio. A whole studio. Just send the whole room. She needs a new studio, but I think this is fun. I don't know how it's going to play out. Again, this is one of those things where you're like, where's it going? I would love to see her maybe get the help of someone to try to fight off Tony D'Angelo. What's weird is everything about Tony D'Angelo makes me feel like I'm not supposed to like him, but I love him. That's kind of everyone. Yeah. Definitely not to be corny about it, but that Soprano kind of vibe. He's a bad guy, but you love him.
That's definitely true. The best kind of heroes, really. The heel that gets cheered. Elliot Fletcher says, shout out to Ryan Katz, smiling Ryan Katz as Mark, the producer. He's a character guy at the PC. I didn't have the chance to work with him directly, but we were both on the same different iteration of the same show, the Raw Aftershow years ago. Yeah, poor guy with his arm and his kids.
Yeah, we were of the same lineage, I guess, of shows.
Yeah, I wonder if this is what Fallon talks about Johnny Carson. You know, like I didn't really know him, but like we were on the same. Moving on, we got a little bit of that Braun Breaker action, bouncing back against Andre Chase because Andre Chase was fired up. But I gotta ask a question, Jack. What's next for the pup-faced gremlin who's not related to any Steiners whatsoever after getting the win this week?
Gremlin.
That's what they call him. I'm just taking the notes. What? What's the problem?
It's corny. Just say who he is. I mean, I get
he's Braun Breaker. I just said who he was.
I get you got to say Braun Breaker. Just
that's what he is.
But you can say he's Rick Steiner's kid.
You can. Michael McGillicuddy would agree.
But that's how it is. I'm still all in on Braun Breaker. I think he's just insanely talented, insanely strong.
Ow.
But in a lot of ways, and Lamb in the chat said, did somebody say Andre Chase? I feel like Andre Chase kind of stole this segment with this is a teachable moment. I think he's catching on for me. I think he is just that perfect. He's a great character. I think he's great. I'm all in on Andre Chase. I like him. He's that perfect level of annoying. I think he's very much like a Sami Zayn in that case.
Fair enough. I agree with that.
I think he is going to have a strong future, but Braun Breaker, I've said before, I'll say again, I think he's the next big thing. I think he's going to be a massive star for WWE.
Does he get the rematch now? Does he stay in the mid card? Where does he go from here?
I think he's going to beat some people up for a while and then get a rematch down the road. I imagine him and the way he like his presence, and I think you could put him in the ring with anybody and he would stand toe to toe with them. Some people you can like, but then you imagine them standing in the ring with, I could imagine Braun Breaker in the ring with Randy Orton and not being out star powered. I could see him standing in the ring with any of the biggest names and still having that star power, being like, oh, this is an equal matchup. He's going to be such a big star. I think Braun Breaker's the guy.
Again, I'm holding out judgment, not because I'm a hater, but I've seen this so many times. I got to get that one program feud. And here's the thing. I know I sound like an old man in my rocking chair, but I think anyone could do the, hey, you got the best of me, I'm going to try really hard. Bianca Belair was doing that for months. You got to show me what happens after that for me to be like, okay, star tag. But maybe I'm just an old fogey, a fuddy-duddy, if you will. It's all
Bianca Belair went on to win the main event of WrestleMania.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So she did. Like, if he turns out like Bianca Belair, I'd consider myself correct.
I think so too. But the undefeated takes some time. I don't want to say EST of NXT. Yeah. Speaking of the women's division, we got ourselves a little bit of an appearance from the new NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose, put out a manifesto of Toxic Attraction's here to stay. That's the A story. But the B story is Dakota Kai helping Mandy Rose get that championship, has unfinished business with Raquel Gonzalez. What is happening on the top of the women's division there, Jack?
The entire women's division is just splintering and fragmenting, and war is everywhere. I love it. Dakota Kai, more vicious than ever. I've been a big fan of Dakota Kai for a long time, so I loved seeing her come out and say, look, you may be the champ, but it isn't about you. I'll take you out also if I want to. Mandy Rose saying that she is the boss of the division, and she absolutely is. Toxic Attraction taking out Zoe Stark. Io Shirai, it's madness, Flobo.
Yeah, it's madness. And how do you make quick work of this? I know, where's William Regal? I get it. But look, things were happening all over. Zoe Stark is injured. We have almost a attempted murder from Cora Jade on the Dakota Kai with the table. I mean, things are breaking down. You know, Mandy Rose is on top of this division. She's the queen of the kingdom, but it's no one's going to be left when it's all said and done.
This is how you can tell what a great champion is. A great champion isn't someone who just holds the belt. It's not someone that just beats competitors, but it's someone that shapes the division around them. When you look at Io Shirai as the champion, you'll notice the wrestling talent went through the roof. Now that Mandy Rose is the champion, already you just see a vicious mean streak on everybody. Io Shirai says, forget my former tag team partner. I want to fight. You see Dakota Kai saying, I don't care that Cora Jade is on a win streak. I'm going to almost murder her. This entire Casey and Caden come out and start picking fights with people.
Yeah.
This division is a reflection of how chaotic and dangerous Mandy Rose is, and she is already shaping this division in her image.
Question?
No.
Who's first or who's next? I don't know. Like for Mandy Rose.
It looks like it's Io Shirai if she's able to pick herself up off the mat after that beating that Toxic Attraction leveled on her.
Fair. Yeah, Io Shirai would be a good challenge for Mandy Rose, but I don't know. I think Io's time is come and gone, and I mean that with the most respect possible. I think she's ready for greener pastures. And Elliot says Io Shirai's character being a jackass rules so much. Yeah, I don't like Zoe, but I like you even less. It's like fair enough.
You say greener pastures. My question to you is: do you think they are red pastures or blue pastures?
Ooh, 205 Live. No. If I was Io Shirai, just the way the draft shook out, I would say SmackDown. Only because Raw seems to be more of a character-based brand. And right now, I think with her athleticism, should be more implied with the sports space brand. I know that's kind of how they've always been, but I feel with the draft now with ASH and Rhea Ripley on Raw, I think should be a lot more fun with a Charlotte Flair, with a Sasha Banks, etc., etc. But whatever, man. More fun for me, man. And it's again, I said this a billion times. When she was in the Mae Young Classic, I didn't get it. It was only when she turned heel, when she was like, "I don't need friends that are pulling her hair out." I went back and watched Mae Young. I was like, Flobo, you missed it, bro. I bought too late.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Didn't do the same thing with Trick. You're gonna be saying the same thing
with Trick and Braun, apparently. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just wait too late. But I bought Sheba coin. I bought $5 worth. I'm gonna be rich and I'm gonna have my own helicopter. It'd be great. He's like, no, you won't. Yeah, Jack, it's my favorite time of the show, man. It's now time for those burning questions, my friend.
Yeah.
The things I've been watching this week, things on my mind, maybe you can help me out with them.
Okay.
All right. Duke's Poker Room with Cameron Grimes. People say on the internet it has nothing to do with wrestling, but I disagree. Where do you stand?
I think it does, because eventually this is going to get settled in the ring. I like it. I think that was fun.
I know you're a Duke Hudson fan.
It kept me guessing who's gonna win out, because Duke Hudson's the better card player, but luck has always been on the side of Cameron Grimes. So I thought it was interesting. Do I want to see it every single week? No. But this felt like it elevated to something. I thought it was good. Yeah,
favorite part of the show is Cameron Grimes be like, no man named Jack ever beat me. I was like, yeah, I get that. I identify with that. Yeah. MSK are just super sad they lost the titles. But why are they whining, bro? And what was the legend of MSK?
I have no idea what the legend of MSK is. I don't know what this was. They seemed way too happy to have just lost the tag team titles. I know they were bummed out at first, but then they're giggling and laughing and telling each other stories. I want to see them in the weight room. I want to see them working out. I want to see them making sure they can get those titles back. That's why Imperium beat them. Could you imagine Imperium sitting at a bus stop telling stories and giggling to each other?
That would be entertaining as hell, actually.
Let me tell you the story about how Walter made Imperium. No way.
Bartel getting a piggyback ride. That would just make that would make my day, actually.
It would be funny. It would actually really hilarious.
Respect the ring. Let's get ice cream.
But I don't know. But it sounds like we're going to get the reveal of someone else and who came up with MSK. So that's interesting. I'm interested to see that.
Joe Gacy has the whole world in his hands, and wrestling Twitter went nuts. What does Joe want?
Well, I thought it was funny. I should be asking you, because Joe Gacy, he's talking about how just because someone is tall, has tattoos, and a shaved head doesn't mean they're a monster. Flobo, is he talking about you?
I thought he was, man. It spoke right to my soul. I was like, you know what? You're right, man. Whatever cult you want, I'm signing up. I've been seeing.
Now that just caress your cheek.
How is the fact that Andre Chase has more merch than Draped in Gold? What's up with
hilarious.
That? What is up with that?
Yeah, what is up? Flobo, this is a teachable moment.
Yes, it is. You get yours at realjackfarmer.threadless.com.
Yeah.
If you can draft one wrestling free agent to join 2.0, who would you choose? And for this to be that guy, I would rehire Bronson Reed personally. But who would you choose?
Oh, I didn't even think about rehiring people when you said this. I don't know what you consider a free agent. I just assume someone who's not on network television.
Not WWE. So it could be AEW. It could be CW, FH. It could be whatever you want. It's not WWE.
Well, someone from Championship Wrestling from Hollywood that stands out. Also with New Japan and with MLW, I got to go Danny Limelight. I think he's someone who is incredibly talented, but also has the attitude that fits in NXT 2.0. And I think he'd fit right in there. And I think he'd blow away a lot of the competition.
Would he be himself, or would he be another version of himself?
You got to be himself.
I don't know. He could be an actual spider. I have no idea. I could be something weird. I don't know.
No, I think who he is as an individual would fit right in there with NXT 2.0 and WWE.
True or false? Even in defeat this week, Von Wagner has turned a corner.
False.
Can you elaborate?
I think I don't even mean it in a negative way. I don't know if I see him differently today than I did yesterday.
Fair enough. Imperium kind of sort of getting asked out by Toxic Attraction. It feels like worlds colliding, and I mean that as wholesome as possible.
Yeah, this felt very interesting to see. But I mean, have you seen Imperium's abs? You can't blame those ladies, can you?
No, I'm swooning. Lamb says, Danny, right now, I hear Jack somewhere, Joaquin Viente. The fact you get to be cool with Joaquin is so dope.
I just want someone. I just want everyone to get paid.
Okay, yeah, everyone get paid, man, as long as you can sell out too.
Of course.
Did Tony D'Angelo kind of sort of call out Tommaso Ciampa?
Did he? Did I miss something?
When he was talking about some of the other, I guess, Italian wrestlers like Garry Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, that after Mark.
I mean, maybe he should. I mean, I think he's undefeated. Why shouldn't he get a shot at the title?
4 more for you. Why does Kaylee Ray hate plates?
Who likes plates? No, maybe she just wants paper plates. Maybe
it's all about the environment. Recycle these. Is the Robert Stone brand dead?
I think it's more alive than ever. I was watching this week, and I was thinking he's showing that he is so entertaining. And in this new NXT 2.0, that's exactly what you have to be. I think we're going to get more Robert Stone brand than we've had in months.
Where's Frankie, by the way? Not even a question. I'm just curious. Where's Frankie?
I don't know.
What's the deal? What is the deal with Zion Quinn and Elektra Lopez?
Yeah, what's the deal with Elektra Lopez? She's got a couple of fellas she should be paying attention to. I don't like that she is turning her attention towards someone who's not part of Legado del Fantasma. And in a lot of ways, Zion Quinn is kind of a jerk. Coming up, beating up Robert Stonebrand twice, and no one likes the guy that goes to karaoke and then you got to drag onto the microphone. Come on.
I don't think he beat Robertson. He kind of like shot putted him across that ring a couple times. It was pretty bad to watch.
Look, he didn't dress up for Halloween.
True.
Boo. He didn't want to sing at karaoke. Boo. Now he's stealing Legado del Fantasma's girl. Boo.
Oh man, you just basically say he's a stick in the mud. Okay, all right, it's fine.
Yeah.
and finally,
stick in the mud, Quinn.
Do not tag him on that one because I don't want him to destroy me also. Are you Jack's friend? No. And lastly, real talk. That steak Brooks and Jensen may look bland as hell.
Yeah, I get what they were trying to do here.
Good old boys.
I get it. They like to fight. They're in bars. But was it just me or does it seem kind of weird to be trying to tell me how tough you are while you're playing horseshoes in the backyard? It was a little bit like, okay, is that a tough guy thing? It feels like something dads play.
Right. I felt like there was a dynamic of saying, hey, look, we're tough. We can beat you because we've been fighting in bars, but also, hey, we're good old boys. We're red-blooded Americans. And you can be both. I'm not saying it can't. The APA was like that, or even the West Texas Rednecks were like that, if you want to be WCW. But it just seems kind of like incongruent is the SAT word this week.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine, like when I think of tough guys, I don't think of, yeah, they get in bar fights, they drink beer, they eat steaks, they play horseshoes, they smoke cigars,
Yeah. Elliot Fletcher says, well done steaks are dead to me. I agree. How do you like your steak, Elliot? Because for me, I don't care how pink it is, but it has to be warm. I can't do cool centers. That freaks me out. Cool meat freaks me the hell out. Sorry, off topic. Jack Farmer is now time for the MVP of NXT. That's the one person or tag team or staff member or Regal that stuck out for you on NXT UK or NXT Prime.
I have to quickly look at my notes because I
can go first.
Yeah, you go first.
Because you always go first. For me, it has to be Rampage Brown. Now, here's a guy that was going to be slapped and made a punk, decided not to do it. Flash Morgan Webster arguably had the best match tonight, or the second best if you want to count the main event, and challenged the champion and level and deck that champion all in the same hour. Talk about efficient. On a brand that takes things weeks upon weeks of time, Rampage cut that mess quick. So I got to give the Rampage Brown.
That is a fantastic answer because he also got that title shot. And title shots are always the most important thing to me. I'm going to go Mandy Rose, though, because I think that, like I said before, it's winning the title is one thing, but reshaping the division is another. And I think that this really cemented her legacy as a champion tonight. This week.
Yeah, Draped in Gold every Thursday. We'll be back at our regular time. I think we'll be having our own daylight saving time, which if you guys saw the AP article that Brian H. Waters posted, it's singular daylight saving time. So we'll be back at 1:30 Pacific, 4:30 Eastern, covering both NXT and NXT UK talk. But Jack Farm, where can the world find you online in the meantime?
You can find me at Real Jack Farmer across all social media right now. Make sure to check out Dead Body Movie. You can see the links to that on my social media as well. It's about two friends who are not involved very often with dead bodies coming across one, and now they have to find a way to get rid of it. You have a Blink and You'll Miss It part by me in it, where I try my acting chops out. It's fun times. Go check it out. You can see it if you go to the Soho International Film Festival. You can get a virtual ticket and watch it online.
Two friends are not used to dead bodies. Happens all the time, bro. Like, for real.
Yeah.
This is Draped in Gold, drapedingold.com. Jack and I are on the MacMania podcast. You can follow that at It's MacMania on that Twitter. But in the meantime, newamsterdam.com, KNEW Amsterdam.com. That's the site you want to go to see all the shows that I host or I produce. And I got to make an announcement. Star Trek Discovery Aftershow is coming back. It's Commander's Log Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Can't wait for that. But enough of my rambling. Jack Farmer, we're out of here. But until next time, say the words.
Do your best and be yourself.